GMGM, ladies, gentlemen, and fantasy top enjoyers all around. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Fantasy Top Down Live, presented by Metaverse HQ. It's been a couple of weeks here since we've been live on broadcast. There have been some climate change emergencies trying to keep us apart, but they couldn't keep us apart for too long. Ezrin, how are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you back with us.
I'm glad to be back. Nice to see you, or not see you, but hear you. Um, but yeah, it's good. Finally, I feel like a bit of normality has returned, and we can get back to this. Yeah, lots to catch up on.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know who we would blame it on, right? The gods above, maybe even fantasy top gods, the French devs themselves. They tried to keep us apart with massive wildfires, tsunami-like, waves and torrential downpours. But through it all, we remain, and fantasy top remains with us. So super excited to dive into it, and really just to be back in here chopping up with you, man. It's been, even just a week or two off feels like far too long.
Yeah, I was getting bored of just typing random stuff to you. It's nice to be talking it out again.
My man, I feel the same way. I just can speak way faster than I can type, and I feel like it's easier to ignore that way too. But
Yes.
anyways, let's get into it, my friend. Let's get into it. We had another banner week in fantasy top just wrap up here a couple hours ago. I think about 4 hours ago. Tournaments closed down. Main 36 in the books, and rewards were also just pushed out live as well. So let's waste no time and let's jump right in. Let's look back how we did last week and maybe even get back to some of those dopamine filled pack cracking that we're used to. You want to
I know.
take us off the top here, man, and go through your week?
Go for it. Yeah, all good. Um, yeah. So yeah, you missed my I did a pretty good rip last time. I ended up with an epic in my packs and some Wizard of Soho and stuff like that. So that
Oh
was
my
a sad one
days.
to miss. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my fantasy site. Are you? I can't click anything.
Let me see. I can click.
You can click.
No idea if it'll
Okay.
work. Let's see. There
Oh no,
you
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
there
good.
we
I'm
go.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's as far as I had gotten right there, making the claim button pop up. So
Yeah, so we can see here how things went. So I managed to salvage some ELO this week. I took it a bit easier. Um, which I kind of regretted, to be honest, once I forgot about the Steady Teddy's whitelist.
mm,
I think I left a decent amount on the table, which was annoying because I probably should have just put in a hell of a load of decks, even if they weren't going to perform, because I pretty much ruined my ELO the week before. So, um, what was another week? Can't go past zero, eh? Or maybe you can. I don't know if you can. Um,
you say that, but I've gotten negative fragments before, so I'm not quite sure. They might be able to put us in debt here on the fantasy app, and that would truly
oof,
be an on chain innovation.
no, that would be not too pretty. But yeah, salvaged some of that. That was cool. Ended up just short of 3,000 fragments there and 0.145 ETH. So
Woo!
yeah, at some point in the grand scheme of the new way that fantasy does its kind of gradual what was the words that they used? Global floor price. I think it was quoting me at like $1,100 this week, which
Wow.
I don't know if that's quite true, but I think it all depends on what comes out of these fragments, right? Um, but yeah, I managed to get a few decent scores. So 120th in elite, which wasn't great, but I'll take it. I put more time into gold. I think there was some better, just the way that kind of the stars fitted this week. Gold looked a bit more achievable.
Hmm.
So I went for that. Silver was not great. I had a lot of negatives in here. Um, the silver decks did not do great, but some did decent. So I managed to get, I don't know, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 in the top 1,000, which
I mean,
I'm
and
glad.
you say you're playing down on yourself a little too much there, brother. A top 100 finish in any league, I think, is noteworthy, especially 61st place right now. Right, anything close to that 100 or top 50 range, you're within a shout of actually winning the tournament with just one more tweet from the right party member. So
Yeah,
give yourself
for
some
sure.
credit there, bro. You crushed it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a decent there was a decent range. Bronze, I always find so hard. I think like 2 weeks ago, bronze was superb for me,
Mm.
but this week it was a bit more back to normal. But yeah, look how many there in the top 20. Like, I did well on my ELO. I only had four falling out there, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Reverse got absolutely cooked because
Mm.
I think quite a lot of us did Marussia and Gabriel Haynes and Tom Schmidt. So yeah, if you had those, you were basically cooked.
Oh,
So
not only did I have a Marusha, that's exactly where I played my legendary Marusha. So we're in for boatloads of pain this week, man.
that's rough, rough. But that could have ruined a deck, right? So let's open these. Let's see what we get.
Let's
Well,
go.
we know what we're getting. We know what we're getting. Sadly. So
That's a big
I
number.
gotta say that's a big number. Yeah, fan points still like 200,000 a week roughly is it's doing great for the leaderboard
I
there.
mean, last I checked, I want to say you were what, top 30, I believe. I mean, you're inching in on top 20, top 15, top 10 kind of territory there with your fan points, man. That is exciting stuff.
For sure. I mean, I ended up. We all picked different ways of going. I kind of went heavy at the beginning with like quantity, which I think really benefited me. Um, and yeah, some of the what is going on with the site, man? You didn't see that? It just like kicked me out again. Okay,
V2.
V2.
When
Let's.
V3, man.
Uh, Come on, man. He just keeps kicking me out.
Weird. It does. I feel like there are a little some UI changes. Maybe I just haven't been burning my own cards enough there, but some UI stuff that looks a little bit new, at least to me.
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll maybe clear my cache and log in again. If you want to run through how you did, and then we can
Yeah,
maybe switch back to
yeah.
me
Let
to do
me
some.
let me switch back over here, and maybe I can get the dregs of all the rewards out of there, so you get all the epics and legendaries for yourself.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate that.
Oh no, now I can't click. You passed the influenza on to me.
Oh no. Oh, you got the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Actually,
fantasy's just struggling a little bit under the hood, but hopefully a refresh gets us going here. Oh yeah, we're claiming, baby. Yeah, would have to say did not have my strongest week as far as rewards. In fact, one of my weaker in the past couple of months, but that's okay. Like I said, Marusha kind of posted that a few weeks ago after the Trump coin dropped and all that. They had made a sizable amount of money on that, so they were taking some time away, taking some money off the table, which fully respect that, and happy some of us are actually winning in this space, right? Um,
yeah,
so he or she, I played them in a reverse deck, but might have been in some of my elite that I normally would play them in suffered a little bit, but that's okay. Still got 79th there, so got a little bit of
very
ETH.
good.
330 in gold, 609
Okay,
silver. So nothing crazy good across any of them, but some decent finishes stacking up about
yeah,
900,000 fragments. Nothing to sneeze at.
that's perfect. It gives you some. I mean, Marisha trolled you because he did say that. I saw it as well. Like, I don't know why they chose to do what, like, the. I don't know why they chose to come back after saying that, but who knows? Sometimes people just can't stay away, right?
Yeah, I think part of it is just everyone in crypto Twitter, they're terminally online. They can say they're going to step away, touch grass, relax, but I think even if they want to step away from the trading aspect of it, I do think just they've cultivated such a persona and such a following online. It's almost like second nature, right? Like I even like to think one day if I were to be able to retire that I'm still going to be on Twitter. I'm still going to be memeing and shit posting and just having fun, right? Like at the end of the day, it is fun. So I can't blame them for coming back to the trough for another round.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I cleared all my cash, so
Oh
at some
baby.
point.
All right, we're coming back to you. Throwing it back to
You want?
Ezrin.
Oh, you want? Oh, okay. You sure?
Yes, sir. Yeah. 30. I see 3,000 fragments there. I don't know what kind of pack breakdown you're going for, how many, but I'm here for it, and we're hoping for nothing but legendary Gregs. Come on!
Come on. Do you know? I just clicked a button and it hung again. Hung. It's hung again. Come
One step
on.
forward, 16 steps back, I believe is the motto they're going with.
Yeah, whatever the change was, something's happening. Um, Come on. What do you usually do? Like, say with if you've got your fragments, what would you normally do?
You know, I had been saving them, and I think that is a kind of a bigger discussion point. Really, is what is the best use of fragments, the best even kind of pack choice you can go with. Save them and hold, or for new heroes, use them week by week. I was in the mindset of saving and holding them for new heroes because I think we've kind of shown when new heroes are added, it is just a little bit easier to pull them and get kind of a premium on the marketplace for them. But I think it was maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, I had several thousand fragments just sitting there, and I kind of thought that if we don't know, their release schedule or when new heroes might be onboarded, I am kind of costing myself a little bit week in, week out, not using these and even just pulling one or two useful cards, right? I think having
Yeah.
that opportunity cost that you're just waiting for maybe you'll get better cards later, I think you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot and you're losing a little bit of that value week over week that you could be using. So that's why I'm full on, or unless we get an announced kind of, cohort is coming in a week or two for the foreseeable future, I'm full on burn all my fragments, open packs, and just keep the flywheel moving that way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. For a while as well, I was doing the wheel spin, but I'm not. I don't know. I've changed that. I've decided now just go for big packs of jade.
Yep, I'm the same way, especially once they took off Blast Gold. Not that it was ever incredibly valuable to begin with, but I think whether I can't remember if they announced it officially or if we were just doing back in the napkin math in MVHQ, but it did seem like the hit rate for hitting a Jade pack on the spin wheel had gotten a little bit lower by a couple percentage points. Um, so I'd rather just take the guaranteed pack. That's enough of a gamble for me anyway. Just trying to get something better than a 2 star. So I think think I'm going to keep it that way at least, unless we see some announced changes or anything with probabilities and how that goes.
Yeah. I also think there's something about like, see if you get a big massive stack, or you get like a good, I don't know, like 10 to 20 cards. It's like there's something about just knowing that you don't mind going through some of the shit because you hope there's going to be something good.
Absolutely, yeah. You get
Whereas
a
if you did
decent.
it one by one by one, and you just like, okay, fuck that,
You're gonna
fuck
get
that.
demoralized
Ah,
real
yeah,
quickly.
yeah, for sure. Right, we're both hitting the old snap here.
Yeah,
Snap.
we are both in a death spiral of refresh exit page, refresh exit page.
Yeah, do you know what I might do? I might go over to where everyone finished. We could maybe talk about how everybody kind of stacked up this week from a hero
Yeah,
point of view.
I think that's a good pivot for now. We'll continue on with normal segments of the show, and if fantasy decides it wants to work for us, we can always pop back over here and rip packs at any point.
Yeah, if anyone sees it working in the chat, give us a shout.
Yes, please. But make sure you get all the bad spins out of the way first to save some of the good spins for us. That's all we ask. That's all.
Yeah, let us know it's safe. Yeah, so one of the big things that we kind of saw, there wasn't anyone that, like, especially in the top 20, there wasn't anyone crazy, I would say. Um, I thought it was good to see Lambo consistent again. Not consistent, but like still up there. Like, I was so on the fence with Lambo every week. And I think everyone else I kind of saw coming, apart from, I guess, your Mr. Tom Schmidt at 14.
I mean, talk about just out of left field. I mean, he's been basically a penciled in zero week after week. I don't know where he found the gusto to come up with a top 20 finish, but I mean, fair play to him.
Yeah, he did say he was going to start focusing on it a bit more. But then he said that, and then it ran him pretty heavy for like a week or two. I can't even remember if it was like a week or two that he said that. But he pulled out a big fat zero again. So this week
That's what I thought
didn't
I
bother.
remembered. I thought I remembered him saying he wanted to be better
Yeah,
and immediately getting another zero the next week.
yeah. But then I don't know what happened, but yeah. And you before this we were talking about like thread guy and stuff. You want to talk a bit about them?
Yeah, man, definitely. I think just I wanted to highlight, some of the top performers. I think definitely ringing up Tom Schmidt there. Great, great choice. This is a once in a blue moon performance for him. And hey, maybe he sticks to his word and gets a little more consistent. I definitely remember in week 1 of Fantasy Top many moons ago, I forged Tom Schmidt Epic because the first week or two, he was a 5, 6 star hero. I mean, he really was crushing it, very memeable. So I think he has that in his tank. It's just whether he's
Yeah.
gonna, keep being consistent about it or just go off the grid. But yeah, the other ones outside of him, I just wanted to highlight as crypto Twitter affectionately refers to them, the LA Vape Cabal, um, who is if you're not familiar, they're a group of just crypto Twitter personalities that they literally live together in a house in Los Angeles, and that's Rasmer, Frank DeGods, Thread Guy, and as you can see from Ezra's screen share here, they were all in the top 15 this week. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, just that's crazy. Literally 3 guys living in a house together, and they were some of the best heroes you could buy. And on top of that, sitting right there under Rasmer is Orangey. Still a newer hero. I think he was onboarded in the most recent cohort a couple weeks or months back, but he's been stopping out there, appearing on some streams. So whether he's becoming a more permanent part of their group or not, I definitely consider him in that same basket. So when you consider that's 4 of the top 15 heroes, or some terminally online 20 somethings living in a house in LA vaping nonstop, really really makes you think, Ezra, doesn't it?
The vape cabal, I like it. Yeah, I mean Orange is pretty solid in the trenches. He's got his own group and stuff. And I think obviously Rasmer and Thread Guy are pretty. They're kind of trying to do a bunch of meme coin related trades and whatnot. So yeah, I think Orange has been over there helping them out, and Frank is pretty solid in there as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew, Thread Guy's been he obviously he made a name for himself a year plus ago, but been doing some streams with AI founders and creators, Rasmer just doing some meme coin, shit coin trading. I I wasn't aware, I just because I don't follow Orangey too much, right? He's, kind of a younger teenager, not really my demographic, so to speak. Wasn't
Play
aware.
Fortnite.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, I mean, I know a dance or two, but that's about it. I wasn't aware he had his own group, so maybe that plays into a little bit more of his following and virality there. So appreciate you making that knot. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, and then in terms of like groups and like content creating, like GG and JK, they stream together every week basically. So they've got a decent group with. I think they do a bunch of stuff with Ansem as well. So yeah,
Gotcha.
we kind of got a couple of these groups which are getting together. So um, yeah, you it's from a consistency point of view, it's it's kind of baked in, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's super smart. I think, great to highlight those groups that are going to stick together, and most likely we're seeing it right now, lift each other up, right? The virality of one is kind of the virality of all of them. So especially if they're all together kind of posting the same content, appearing in their each other's videos or streams, what have you. So LA Vape Cabal and Jakey and Gigi and Ansem also, wasn't aware of that latter one, so great shout there, I think.
Yeah, they pulled live on stream yesterday. They pulled like a crazy. Gigi pulled like a crazy. Let me see. She pulled. They pulled like an absolute runner.
Oh,
Let me
like
go on
a
stream.
meme coin.
Yeah, here we go. 900k to 256 mil live on stream. There's
Jesus.
her and Jakey on this. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, they seem to pull in some viewers and
Good for
also
them. Yeah. I mean, hell, not only just the viewers and the performance in fantasy, but hitting a what is that, 250x basically on a trade in one day. GG.
yeah, damn right,
Yeah,
damn right.
maybe
So
that's a
yeah,
stream I need to be tuning in more to myself.
I just get the after highlights once everything's either crashed and burned or
I'll buy it at
if you
250
no money left.
mil. I'll, bu-
Yeah.
I'll top blast it so they have some exit liquidity. How about that?
Well, us in the EU, we're always exit liquidity. The amount of times in MVHQ where I turn up and it's like we've got like a shitcoin chat in there, like a meme coin chat, and everyone's just like, "What a fucking night!" The amount of this, that, and the others, and then I start looking and trying to play catch up and just get absolutely roasted.
Yeah. Sounds like another day in the trenches for me, though, right?
For sure, man. How's things working? Did you get it to work?
I haven't. I've been trying. I've been refreshing here in the background, and it's working about as well as it was earlier, which is to say, not at all.
Okay. Fair play. Can we get on marketplace? Does it work?
Oh, great question. Let's see. Chat. Anyone got the marketplace to work?
Yeah.
Chat. We
Hey,
need help.
Chatty.
Chat. Okay, I can go to the marketplace.
Okay, that's good.
That is
Better,
nice.
better than I can do.
I can scroll around here. I'll switch over to my stream just so we got a little bit of movement here. I can see. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks like if I click in, it's giving me all my options here. Don't want to make it too angry, but
Um, yeah, I mean, it was it was interesting. The other one of the big things that we saw this week to do with the marketplace was the new contracts for V2 marketplace with like the audit being completed.
yes, sir. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. I mean, so what, Ezra? What you are the big brain dev here himself. You know code. You know zeros and ones even. What do you think that means? Right outside of some increased functionality we've seen here. Any insight you can give us onto what you think it means really to either
Yeah.
specifically or just broadly, right? To be migrating contracts to a V2. Like why is that important?
So under the when you go around clicking and using all the functionality which interacts with the tokens, that basically calls the contracts which are deployed on Blast. And so when you deploy a contract on Blast, you have to decide at that point what are the features that you want to basically build the front end for. So as this whole game has evolved, um, there are certain things that they were able to like preempt. Like, okay, we want to be able to burn cards of all rarities, burn for fragments, that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then if they're going to improve on that and build other mechanics. So for example, um you can burn uh what's the word? You can burn commons for fragments, but you can't burn for other rarities.
Yeah.
So you have to just burn two of those to get one. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
So maybe, for example, they can't do that with the current contracts. So what they can do is they can build in some of these other mechanics to the contracts, which basically provide the functions to interact with all the tokens. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so if we want to see those improvements, those need to get deployed um, on the back end, basically meaning on the blast chain, so that we can then use that functionality on the front end. So I think one of the things that Travis and the team had basically said this week was they'd put the new contracts through an audit. They'd identified a bunch of issues which they've now fixed, so they can then start looking at deploying that on chain and switching the whole front end over to use those new contracts basically.
Amazing. Okay. Nice. So outside of all the under the hood kind of improvements and just faster, cheaper, right? Hopefully a little bit of more efficiency there. Getting some new features like you were outlining. Some kind of global bids or bids on global floors. By rarity and just
Exactly.
some things we just have never even had available, tools we've never had available in the marketplace. So hopefully making it a little bit easier and a little bit more dynamic for everyone to just navigate the best social fantasy betting protocol in Web3.
Exactly. So what I don't actually know for sure is whether or not we've already. Let me just quickly take this off screen. 1 second. What I don't know is if we have already seen them deploy the um the new contracts. I don't know if we're actually running on them yet. Do we know that?
That was going to be my next question. I don't think
Yeah.
so, but I'm not quite on the team with the Frenchmen themselves, so can't say that with 100% certainty.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly do something
Uh-oh.
here.
He's deving. The dev is deving.
No. Right, so I just basically didn't want to dox my private key if I by mistake was going to, so I took it off screen.
Too late.
Uh,
Sorry, brother. I've already
all
got it.
gone. Oh, it's all gone.
Drained
Live
your
on stream.
wallet.
Yeah. Exactly. So what we can do is if we go to the blast scan. So when we are doing 47 hours ago mint. So so these are the contracts that we're currently using on Blast. I'm sure there's other ones. I'm doing this kind of right as I'm
Yeah.
doing here. So what you can do it. I might dig into this for next week maybe, which is just to try and understand what new functionality it is that we've got.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see all the um we can see all the transfer ownership. I had it a second ago. What did I do with it? Oh, here we go. Right. So, for example, what I was saying was, you've got in the contract, you've got like get pack price, the different mint configs that exist.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the stuff that basically see how we got like batch burn to draw, batch mint cards. So yeah, all these basically. Um, they would have come up with the new mechanics which they wanted to build in that maybe they didn't build in for the first ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, depending on, I'm sure I can dig in and see what version this is or whatever, but we should be able to just look through this and see what they have, and
Mm-hmm.
then based on that, we could probably get a decent idea of either what's coming or what sort of ideas they've got.
Yeah, I mean that is exciting, right? And that's the power of open source, right? Like that, as far as I understand it, is we can, like you said, we can look through and comb through the contracts ourselves and kind of make inferences and look to where what features have been changed or updated since the last contract, where we can speculate that's leading to for the next batch of updates or feature rollouts. So definitely some on-chain investigative sleuthing happening there.
Yeah, it should be pretty simple once we can work it out, but we know it's audited, so happy days. Um, it'll obviously be coming at some point if it's not here now. And once it's live, they can just build out the front end. I'm sure they're pretty much doing that just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see my ELO is back up to a healthy number again.
Oh yeah. I think that's a great little transition there. What is your current ELO rank now, Ezrin? Have you been able to claim, I guess, your ELO from today if you went the league up or
Oh
down?
no, I've basically gone back to what I was before I completely destroyed it. So no claiming for me, no claiming.
Nothing feels
Um,
quite as good as a break even, I'll say that.
yeah, I can't remember even how high I got. I don't think I got into Legends, so um, that part if I decide to go cautious again this week, which I probably won't, because I didn't really like that very much.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll wait and see. What about you? Did you manage to get?
No, I lost some ELO myself. So I'll flash back over here. I think it looks like we're in the same league. I just don't see your name popping up when I clicked into it.
I
Um,
just saw you. If
oh,
you go
okay.
leaderboard,
Yeah, I'm in Diamond. I guess I'm in Diamond 2, maybe. Yeah, I'm in Diamond 2. Um,
yeah,
with my ELO being 1473, and I guess I'm rank 6 overall. Above
yeah.
what
So
lit?
scroll down a tide like one screen where I
Oh,
am.
there we go. Okay.
There we are. There
The,
we are.
the only metric I'm pretty sure that I am ahead of you in this entire game is ELO right
No,
now, and it's by a massive 16 points. So that's my benchmark now. As long as I can stay above you, keep my head above water, I take that as a win.
I don't know if you saw this though, but did you see Legend One? Have you seen who's in Legend One? It's just one person.
No, I did. I'm gonna be honest,
Look
didn't know
who's in
anyone was in
Legend One.
there.
Mm.
Oh my Christ, tactic.
Tactic is unreal.
Shocking, except not actually because his stable is just insane.
Oh yeah, he's got some thoroughbreds in there. Jesus Christ.
Running back the Zed run playbook, eh?
Yeah,
Just to illustrate
unreal.
that gap, he is the only person in Legend 1. Okay, I thought when I first flashed by, it looked like no one was even in Legend 2 to follow up behind him. But the closest person is 300 over 300 points behind him. Like that is wild.
Yeah, I would say so. But if you watch his playstyle, it's quite something.
Really.
He- Oh yeah, tactic. Like he just he does like what we do best decks of. He does like 10 of each of them.
Oh my god. I oh, this is almost sickening looking at this portfolio.
It's unreal, isn't it? Yeah, I always
Two
quite like watching.
two epic oranges, four epic pentoshis, four rare Gregs, four rare Rams, three rare Rasmers, an epic Ansem, Whale Mocha. Like, oh my lord.
Click on competition there. Like click on his competitions.
If I do, my
And
screen might punch me. It might reach out and punch me
okay, I
in the
mean,
face.
as long as it doesn't do what the marketplace does, you'll be fine.
Dear Christ.
Look, he's obviously toned it down a bit, but if you go down to main 33, 73 decks, and then if you look at how they performed, like there's so many like in the top. Really good player.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
just
it's annoying you can't actually see it anymore, can you?
yeah.
Yeah,
Got the
that
new way
annoys
of
me. I just want to
visualizing it.
see. I just want to see.
Give me all of it. Give me all the down and dirty data. Come on, fantasy.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so sad about these cards.
I know. Really hoping. I mean, we still got another 20, 25 minutes here, so hoping that can get fixed because it really feels like the rest of the site is working pretty smooth, right? It's just that shop page trying to buy packs.
Yeah.
I wonder if everyone's slamming it right now.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, Botwin wants me to pull a Zard. We'll see about that.
Big bot win, the man himself.
Pull a Zard.
If only it were that simple. I've yelled that over many openings before, and not doing anything for me.
What cards are you looking for this week? Is there anything you're trying to upgrade?
Yeah, let me. Yeah, if I can, I'll need to refresh here and then do all that, and I can hit back into the marketplace. But yeah, there were a couple I wanted to point out. They're not going to sound like the most big brain of choices, like they're under the radar by any means, but I think someone who's obviously been at the top of his game, known for being a pretty topsy turvy player, up one week, down the next, really a roller coaster. But DB, he's had, I think, 3 or 4 weeks where he's been on fire. 16 and two or three back to back weeks of being number one. I think we're used to it being like first place, last place, first place, last place. So
Yeah.
I've never owned a DB card. Somehow, never pulled one, never burned into one. So I think I'm going to be monitoring him pretty closely here. And as soon as he has maybe 1 or 2 down weeks in a row, I'm going to look to try and pick one up in a bid, at least of a rare, if not an epic, because sure, I mean, it is a total crapshoot whether he's going to post or not. But if he does, I think the upside is absolutely there. And in a game like fantasy, you kind of have to play to that upside and say, I'll take the down weeks as they come. But if you get a first or a top 10, 15 finish out of him, you're in pretty good shape, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if you even I know like Enormous James, who's in MVHQ, he ended up buying an Epic DB,
Mm-hmm.
and like for all the weeks that he's good, he might he'll pair that up with like I don't know three or like four other good cards, and like on a week where he rips, basically he's on top 30,
Yep. Yeah.
and then if he doesn't rip, he gets like 130, you know? So
Yep.
it's not the worst. I feel like he's still cooking with his other cards. Like he's still solid, and I think there's enough going on for him to be posting.
Yeah, with the new crypto friendly regime in the White House in the United States, there he's had no shortage of news to report on the last few weeks, so that all kind of adds up. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And yeah, like
Um,
I mean, I love that you point out, Enormous James from MVHQ. I want to say he only has it's the DB Epic, and I think the rest in that lineup are rares, and they're good rares to be fair, like a
yeah,
rare
yeah,
Rasm rare Gigi, but not break the bank epics or legendaries. He got them all with not huge budgets, so I think that's absolutely a great way to kind of a great lens to view it through.
yeah. And as I say, like even if it's a bad week for him, he's still pulling in something every week. And when it's a good week, he like you know top 50 epic. You still do seriously well out of that.
Yeah, and I think this I'm looking right now at his profile. This is usually about his top performing line. I think he throws in there Epic of DB and Pentoshi, who were both dirt cheap at times, right? When DB
Mm,
was missing a month or so without posting, Pentoshi went on holiday for a few months. You could have scooped them up for, I mean, truly bargain barrel prices, and then just
yeah,
three strong rares. I mean, and that's a literally a formula for a top 30 in elite right there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's I feel like he had other epics as well.
He has an
Maybe he's
epic intern,
uh,
but he's a
I
little
thought he
more.
had other stuff, but
Maybe he moved off of it. I know he is an excellent trader, so might have seen some other opportunity in the market and kind of pivoted a little bit. But yeah,
yeah, still amazing. Like as you say, like Pintoshi, we've talked about the inflation score and how that impacts supply and how supply can then impact price. Like there's usually a decent time. Like if someone who performs really well is having off weeks, we can see so much supply getting minted.
yep,
We saw that with Callow. He's like another one who I think might get the same sort of treatment as the DB and Patoshi because he had off weeks where his supply pumped. So what used to be a super expensive card got pretty heavily um like minted for the bad weeks. If you can go onto his chart, you should be able to see how many weeks it was. Was it many weeks? No, it was just like two.
yeah, 2 or 3 weeks here where he was
Okay.
below his standard because he fell ill, so it took a little time away, try and feel better. I mean, first week back 60, right? So not super high, but he has shown he's pretty much a top 50 hero when he's feeling himself.
Yeah, but I feel those 2 weeks that he was on the ground, I don't think I saw one pack opening video where someone opened more than 5 cards that they didn't get at least one Callow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. His inflation score absolutely has gone up as a result. Where is it? Yeah, his
Yeah.
inflation is a 100 right now. Like, if we could actually get the packs to work, we'd probably hit on a few of those, and he still has a fantastic floor considering that insane inflation.
I wonder if that's changed because 100, I don't think we ever saw them as crazy as that.
No, I don't either.
Let's have a look at a couple of other. Let's have a look at a couple other guys because that's. that might be new. Maybe they've wanted to give more refined inflation scores.
Yeah, I
Do you know
mean
what I mean? Maybe they wanted to.
Gabriel Haynes is a
Yeah,
43.
43. I just
Um,
looked at OSF and he's a 2,
oh
but
wow.
he's a 4-star.
Based let's see, he's at a
That's interesting.
3, huh? And I mean his floor is down close to the universal floor for all commons, 008. Interesting.
Okay, so every other inflation score looks kind of normal, but the
Uh-huh.
ones that are like to see a 41 and a 100, whereas there's others that are like a 2 or a 1. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of,
Kind of wild.
yeah. Even Psycho, altcoin Psycho's a
Mm-hmm.
9.
Okay.
Hmm, Maybe maybe we're onto something here.
Yeah, there's all these little bits and pieces of data are ripe for someone to take advantage of it and make plays that are not readily apparent to others. So take the data and run. Pretty sure that's a song.
Take the data.
Hit them
Um,
and run.
yeah, this is weird. Okay, interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I wonder if we just minted like everyone who minted a card basically got a Calo.
That's maybe that's why they had to turn off the pack buying for a moment.
Yeah,
Everyone was getting 100% Kalios.
yeah. I need to start saying his name right as well.
Oh well, I
Um,
don't know that that's right. I've never heard him. I don't know if he does Twitter Spaces or any of the like. I like kale. Ate it last night, so it's on the mind. What can I say?
very good.
And
Uh,
so just finishing my little rant there.
go go go.
DB, great hero. Not buying here because he is literally number one. Gonna wait for a little more fatigue once he's back down to a no posting week and hope I can get someone to capitulate there. Um, but the other one I wanted to highlight here is Newsy Johnson, and
Okay.
this is really based off of some threads and some ideas that Clayton Mooney, another avid fantasy top player, shout out Clayton Mooney. He is the dev and the creator of the Fantasy Top HUD, which I know quite
Hmm.
a few community members are into. Very, very incredible, insights, data that you can get from that. So if you haven't, go check it out. Clayton Mooney, incredible, very nice guy. I'm sure he's happy to interact on Twitter. And if not, Ezrin definitely sent him to you, not me. Anyway, he had a thread a week or two ago just about really consolidating into consistency and the idea that sure you can't always have a top 50 hero be a top 50 hero, but you want them to be as consistent in that top half more often than not. And so I think Newsy Johnson really fits the bill there. You can see there's only 3 tournaments he's ever even gone below a score of, or not score, sorry, a placement of 50. And one of those was 53rd. But for the most part, I mean, he's, 24, 44, 15, 46, 18, 18, 32, 41, 69, 51. Really, sure, he's 6 stars and decently high floor price, so not going to be the best bargain buy. But if you're looking for someone who's consistent and again, not 8 stars, not even 7 stars, but has the ability to get there every week and almost really minimum is going to be a 5 or 6 star performer, I think these are who I'm going to start trending my buys towards. Is those heroes that have shown prolonged consistency, might have an off week here or there, but who doesn't? And
Yeah,
really just use them to farm fragments, farm rewards, and hopefully pull a few more in decks. I have 1 or 2 that I've already pulled, so looking to hit some bids, maybe upgrade to a rare, or even skip an upgrade into an epic, and just keep my reward flywheel kind of moving that way.
that's great. I mean, that's like the perfect hero. That's like the sort of guys that I like to buy as well. Um, and yeah, I think the only he like for example, he's got a supply of like 250. Like
Yeah.
compare that to that Calio. It's who's in the thousand? Was he in the thousands? Like 2,000 or something?
Probably. I mean, with an inflation score like that, let's see.
I
Uh,
swear. Oh, 1,500, 1,300.
okay, yeah. So not that high, but not 200.
Yeah, so I mean, the other thing you got to think of as well, like if you're looking to, if these guys perform, you're going to find that you've got them in your deck, but usually other people don't because there's
Hmm.
not enough of them to go around. So, you do kind of get that extra bonus, and the price stays consistent as well. It's harder for people to just dump them, but it's also harder to get them. So,
Yep.
uh, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's different, isn't it? It's like the opposite of the DB or Pintoshi because they they're easily available, but these other ones are the ones that kind of set you a wee bit higher up when they score better than other
Absolutely.
6 stars or other 8 stars or whatever.
And I think someone you've talked about multiple weeks now. I mean, even highlighter at the beginning of this show, Gigi fits that mold to a bill, right? Like her chart looks a little funny here, but then you realize she's only ever had 1 week below 50. So that's why it looks topsy
Yeah,
turvy, but truly it's an incredibly consistent chart, right? I mean, really
yeah,
sitting every week above 50 and for the most part above 40 and even 30 with finishes as high as second, fifth, third this past week. So she's the definition of consistent, never going to have a bad week, and could even be a top three type of hero. So, I mean, when you
yeah.
just looking at this kind of this view, look at these floor prices for commons, man. 0.174, 0.16, 0.096, zero point 0.1, and she's at almost half or a third of that at 0.058. Like that seems like a
She's
fundament.
crazy value,
Yeah, that
crazy
seems
value.
like crazy mispricing right there. But I've never owned a Gigi, and I am every second I'm looking at these prices, I'm getting more convinced I need to make that switch.
Yeah, I actually think what was Newsy's? Newsy was like his chart was mostly top 50, 60.
Yeah, yeah, mostly top 50, three finishes underneath there, but mostly 50 in and around the 25 kind of range.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think both of them are great.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's, I mean, that's a great point. Even you look at the price, Newsy's floor is 0.001 higher than Gigi's, and that just doesn't make sense at all.
yeah, yeah.
That oh
She's
ah
super consistent, and you can get in her Cabal chat as well.
yep,
Um, if you own her cards, she's um, pretty like chatty in there. So,
yeah, man. But that's enough out of me. I've been piping on long enough. What about you? Anyone you're looking at in particular that's caught your eye for this coming week, or even just moving forward that you think has solidified themselves with value, and you're thinking you need to get in on their action?
I'm so annoyed. I keep trying to finish my whale mocha,
Oh
right?
yeah.
But I'm
How
just too tight.
how many do you have currently?
I've got three.
Got it.
So basically, I need to finish Whale Mocha and Wizard of Soho. So I've got three of each. I want to get them up to a rare, but I keep like cheaping out on my bids. And if you don't nail the bids on like today, the price just goes up, 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 up between
Uh
now and
huh.
the end of the week. So my
Thursday
bids,
really is the day you need to act if you want to get any kind of bargain.
yeah, yeah. So I think I managed to get like one. So I've been super lucky pulling most of these. I got at least two of each, one or two of each through bids. Sorry, through packs. And then I think I got a couple through bids. So yeah, I just need to try and get these guys over the line. And it's funny because you were talking about Clayton Mooney,
Mm-hmm.
and I was obviously trying to sweep these for like the last few weeks, like trying to get them at a decent price for the last few weeks.
Trying to
And then I
front
just
run him before his algo identifies them as the most mispriced heroes.
well, kind of, but I don't really mind it if he's still like doing that. See, when I see his tweet and he's like, "Oh, I bought 8% of Wizard of Soho supply," I'm like, "Fuck."
So yeah, well there goes my opportunity.
Yeah, I was like, "See you later." Yeah, there goes my chances of getting one. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, at
again,
some point I might just bite the bullet, but yeah,
shout out Clayton. He's got great threads, great information. Talks about undervalued heroes, puts his money where his mouth is, and but snaps them up himself, showing he's not in it for engagement. He wants to be better at the game, and I think every all of his work has definitely paid out, and you see that in the leaderboards on ELO rankings. I mean, Clayton's absolutely crushing it and a vital part of the thriving and growing fantasy top community.
yeah, I like. He was one of those like some of his analysis was a kind of different angle. You know, it wasn't like I
Hmm.
think for a while we were kind of understanding everyone's different play types. You know, you had some people who were lots of decks, but maybe they weren't the best cards. You had other people who were more specific about who they bought and they only played in the top tiers, but maybe they only
Yeah.
ran like a few decks. And then so we had like all these different things playing out. We had other people who maybe had a portfolio that was a bit smaller. They kept having to play in bronze every week and then sell things before they bought for the week after. So we were kind of understanding all of this. But I don't think we had anyone who basically was like identified consistent hero with low inflation score, buys up as many as possible, like, and then just runs insane decks every week. So yeah, I mean, gotta give it to him. He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
did.
it goes to show we've harped on it here for months now. There is no right way to play the game. There's a ton of different ways that all work, and I think the way Clayton does it is a testament to that. The way you play it, Ezrin, the way I play it, poorly. They're all showing that we all have our own little flavors we like to throw in, and some work better than others. And I think that's just the beauty to this game. You can win in so many different ways, and it's why I keep coming back every week and keep dumping more ETH into it.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun. That's what I like, and it's nice. For example, even looking at like the rankings and stuff like that, and seeing everyone's approach. Like, you know, someone someone who will maybe have a smaller portfolio, but they'll do more decks, all that kind of stuff. It's like super interesting to see everyone's approaches.
Yeah. I am, Ezra. I'm going to swap back over to my screen 1 second here because I wanted to point one more thing out that I remembered I forgot about.
Cool.
The one other hero I want to give a shout to, Based 16Z. Um, Truly one of the top heroes, really, for the life of Fantasy Top. Clicking into his chart here, he basically never had a finish below 20th, for the first 5 to 6 months. It was insane. And only had a little more volatility here. Again, going as low, in air quotes, as 30th.
Oh, crazy.
I know. And then had a steep drop off. He deleted his account, or like, whatever it is. I know you can kind of like turn it off for a short period of time, right, without like technically deleting it, almost like going on holiday. Then came back, so that explains the drop down to 73rd. Was back the week after, 21, clearly still has all the memeing in him. And then this past week back down to 71 because he went on private, which I noticed right as the tournament started. So engagement is down a little since it's just closed off to his own viewers. I will say I fully expect that to reverse at some point here. I think he's too viral. He loves shit posting, and I just think this is a short term thing. But I think it presents an interesting opportunity in the marketplace because you're seeing his cards just about as low, if not lower, than they've ever been. And you normally don't even have an
Interesting.
opportunity to get one of his epics and to even see one listed. So I
Okay.
have his rare. I might be bidding to complete a few more. We'll see here. But I do
Nice.
think this is an opportunity. I'll end it there.
Okay. Okay. Good. I like that. Yeah, it is funny to see how everyone reacts like with a couple of weeks of things getting fragile. Um, I never really saw the prices move too much. I feel like people are too patient in this game, especially in the top tier cards. But I am open to getting a deal.
Same. Like I think everything we've seen out of fantasy shows they're here for the long haul. They're continuing to innovate, build, find new investments, find new ways of reaching out to other communities and building that, which we'll talk about here in a second. So like I said, I look at that chart. I see base 16Z literally had months of being one of the top
Yeah.
heroes in the whole game. I'm gonna bet on that more than these 3 weeks of volatility here. So I think I'm okay with that risk reward, but I understand not everyone is.
Can you click the price? I want to see if his common is like dropped.
Let's see. Boop boop boop.
Oh, a bit, yeah. Not really been anything in the past few days.
Yeah, I think that's just the hesitancy of, people are scared.
Yeah.
People are scared to bid or buy outright,
Mhm.
heroes on uh on private. Um and at the same time, the people who have him know his value, and so they don't want to give him up at a cut rate really because they know 1 week and he's back in the top 5. So,
Yeah. It's also amazing how everything prices itself like 5 times, 5 times, five
mhm.
times, isn't it? It's like even like that rare to epic is basically perfectly priced. But
Yep.
then I'm just running the quick math. Yeah, basically everything's perfect.
I mean,
Unreal.
because if we
I
did if
swear
we
someone's got a bot.
Yeah, I mean, if you swept all 5 rares, it's going to be 1 point, let's just round 1.79, which
Mhm.
is, just a touch more than the epic, but that's because you get that 1% chance to uproll it into a legendary. So, all things considered, I think those marketplace prices are about as accurate as you're going to see.
Yeah, I always think it's crazy how they manage to how it manages to align.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
and it was
tech.
also funny this week because the marketplace got reset, so everything was like
Yes. So you saw some funny looking floor prices for some cards as people were joking around and putting out some fake floors and doing some fun stuff like that.
yeah. And then upcoming week, so you didn't win a steady Teddy, right?
I did not. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it back over to your screen here, but that was one of the fun bonuses of this last week. All the winners of each league also received a whitelist to Steady Teddies, which is an upcoming NFT mint on Barachain, one of the most hotly anticipated blockchain main net launches we've seen here in Web3. I'm certainly excited for it, and for anyone not knowing why that might be a big deal, sure, it was only 5 spots, but if you go onto any one of the popular whitelist kind of secondary marketplaces, one Steady Teddy whitelist is currently selling for anywhere between 3,000 and 3,500 USD. So
No way, man.
that's
Is it really?
yeah, so that's about an ETH or even a little bit more than that, 1.1 ETH for the whitelist. Um, so this past week, if you just look at the rewards through that lens, those first place rewards were juiced, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like the worst week I could have held back my bloody yellow.
Oh man, but it looks like you might have another opportunity for some other outsized rewards. I
Yeah,
mean, what do I see here on the banner for Main 37? An ASCII cat? What's going on?
yeah. You get your ASCII cats here. No, it's so I'm guessing there's like so I know what it is, kind of, but I might have to read their tweet just to get the exact specifics of it. Um, but basically, there is a thing called dev.fun, dev pump. What's it called?
I think it's just dev. It might be dev.fun, but it's essentially a pump fund for developers, right?
Yes, dev.fun. You're absolutely right. Yep, yep, yep. And so that has a token called Biddle, which is like build but Web3. And so basically, what they've done again is create another aspect to the week's tournament. So it looks like a partnership with them. They're giving out. I'll just pull this tweet up. Actually, it's probably easier. So you can see here they've got like hackathon fantasy related apps entered onto the Biddle hackathon. So it's like a hackathon on dev.fun. And if you read up on what the tool is, it's kind of crazy. It's like you can do a certain amount of commits. You can link your project to a token from pump.fun, and um, basically what they're doing is getting people to build something and submit it towards this hackathon to get a $500 bonus. But if you just end up winning the tournaments, they've got one for each league. You get $777 worth of Biddle tokens. So again, this is just another extra bonus to the week's tournaments. Fantasy came from like the Alliance DAO, which also other projects like Moonshot and things came out of. I think I read that Dev.Fun also came from there.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Dev.Fun and Pump.Fun, right?
yes,
The
yes,
progenitor of
exactly.
them all.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Like, obviously they've got all these connections, so it's easy for them to pull these whitelists, or these partnerships, I suppose is the better way of saying it. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this like extra bonus aspect to the tournaments. You don't really have to think
Absolutely.
about it too much. You know, it's good.
Yeah, man, couldn't agree more. I think, always want to give the flowers to the people who deserve them. Um, Clayton Mooney, the Molt, huge builders in the space, just building for Fantasy Top. Couldn't do what we do every week without them. And 710 as well. 710 officially part of the fantasy team. I believe their community manager runs a lot of the relations and the comms in the Fantasy Top Discord. Yeah, and these partnerships are his hard work, his fruit, or his hard work bearing its fruit. Um, the Steady Teddies, again, that was a $15,000 kind of injection of rewards by itself. And now you think he's adding a couple thousand extra dollars here in build token, in straight up USD for anyone building Fantasy Top extensions, apps, whatever it may be. So definitely shout out 710, does a great job with this. And it's funny because this, a lot of these rewards, like some NFT whitelists we've even had, or the NFT XBT token airdrop that we got a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You don't have to win for those. Some of the criteria was just people who have played the most decks. You could be getting last place in bronze week in, week out. But if you threw enough decks in there, you got some couch cushion change thrown your way just for existing. So definitely see that as kind of a nice little extended benefit we get just for existing in the fantasy ecosystem.
Yeah, and we saw absolutely crazy winners this week. I mean, look at this trending views. This is going to haunt you, mate. Look, that second one.
Okay. I'm
See what
about
I'm
to punch
saying?
a hole through my monitor, and I don't want to say it's your fault, but you're not helping.
Like that, your epic would have been excellent there. And then yeah, man. Like even if you did run a bunch of shit decks, your Tom, you could probably could have probably landed top half with like Noor, Tom Schmidt. Could have spent 5 of your 18 stars and still ripped up. I don't know. Maybe not.
No, you're spot on. I could have, and it's looking at it in hindsight. There's always, wow, I had all of these all the 1-star heroes that were great this week, and if I had put them together with an 8-star, I would have won. But unfortunately, I will never have the foresight in the moment to think about that. So I'm cursed to
It's not worth it.
mediocrity.
It's not worth putting your ELO in the lane.
I've got nothing in this world but my ELO to keep me warm at night, man. Don't take that from me too.
Love it, love it. Right, are we gonna have one last shot at trying to get this to work? It's definitely not gonna work, but we can have one last shot, can't we?
Yeah, we have to. Come on, fam.
Oh,
Come
that was a
on,
nice fast
shop.
load. Shop. Open.
Oh!
No.
the instant unresponsiveness.
Yeah. No button works anymore.
R.I.P. Well, we will
I'll post it on
certainly.
Twitter.
Yeah, we'll take some videos, post them on Twitter, and we'll talk about them off the rip next week in case anything great comes of it. But
Sounds good.
that was just about all I had this week. Ezrin, anything else to close us out here as we head off into the sunset, looking to build our lineups for main 37?
Nope, that was everything from me.
Yes, sir. Same here. So, everyone, thank you again so much for tuning in. We always appreciate you, all the questions, comments, everything in chat, posted on Twitter. So, please always keep it coming. And, you're the reason why we're here, right? So, happy to do it. So, that is all from Ezrin and myself, Silva Surger, on behalf of Metaverse HQ. This has been another exciting episode of Fantasy Top Down, and we will see you next Thursday.